What you are about to see at the end of this video, featuring an imposing lion raised right in a living room, defies all the laws of nature. Make sure to stick around until the very last second to witness his astonishing transformation. But before we get to that wild encounter, life often presents us with miracles where we least expect them, like the story of this dog who walked with his world turned upside down. This dog was found wandering the streets with a strange and severe tilt to his head. Despite his obvious discomfort, his eyes reflected a spark of hope that deeply moved a young man who decided not to leave him behind and give him a real home. After his first few meals and a good night's rest, the dog was taken to a specialized veterinary clinic. The doctors ran exhaustive tests, including X-rays and CT scans, to understand the root of his condition. The results revealed a heartbreaking reality. The dog had suffered a car accident in the past, and without timely care, his muscles and vertebrae had healed incorrectly. Without hesitation, they proceeded with a highly complex corrective surgery. After the operation and weeks of intensive care, the change began to show. What seemed like a permanent injury transformed into a miraculous recovery. Today, this Samoyed looks completely different. His head is held high and his energy is truly boundless, proving that love and medicine can restore joy to those who have lost everything. Sometimes physical fragility is just the beginning of a fight for survival that moves from the cold asphalt into the most caring hands. A family found this tiny marmoset all alone in the middle of the road, with no trace of his mother and absolutely no protection. Being so minuscule and vulnerable, the risk of him not making it was immense, so they decided to take him home to try and save his life. At first, the marmoset was nervous and disoriented in his new environment. However, with a lot of patience and the use of a tiny dropper, the family began feeding him milk to ease his hunger and build up his strength. Under their constant care, the little monkey started to adapt and show off his playful spirit. As time passed, that fragile baby transformed into a highly energetic young primate. The marmoset developed a profound bond with every member of the household, even striking up a curious friendship with the family cat. From sharing meals to enjoying warm baths and sleeping snuggled up next to his caretakers, this little monkey found much more than just a shelter. What started as a chance rescue on the pavement ended up becoming a beautiful story of love and loyalty, where the tiny primate became an indispensable member of the family. That same vulnerability lurks in the most everyday corners, where a tiny predator can go from being prey to becoming a beloved family member. It all started in a garden, where a curious dog was stalking a small ermine that could barely defend itself. Noticing the danger, a young woman intervened immediately to rescue the tiny mammal from a potentially fatal situation. The ermine was so small that it fit perfectly in the palm of her hand. The woman took on the role of surrogate mother, feeding the ermine through a small syringe. Constant care took effect, and the ermine began to regain its strength, showing an inexhaustible energy. What began as an emergency rescue was transformed into a life filled with games, where the ermine showed its natural agility by jumping and exploring every corner of the house. This agile hunter developed its instincts in a safe environment full of affection. The connection between the rescuer and the ermine became unbreakable. Today, this ermine looks healthy, strong, and enjoys a full life thanks to the compassion of the one who decided not to leave it behind. Not only mammals find refuge in the human heart, sometimes nature decides to knock on the door, or rather, settle on the balcony. A spotted dove chose an unusual place to build her home, the narrow ledge of a city balcony. Upon discovering her, the resident of this apartment decided not to scare her away, but to become her silent guardian. With patience, he began to earn the dove's trust by offering seeds and fresh water directly to her nest. Soon, the dove laid her eggs, and the human's vigilance intensified. The bird, usually timid, allowed the man to pet and feed her, understanding that in that home she was safe. After days of waiting, the chicks finally hatched. Under their mother's gaze and the human support, the babies grew healthy and strong. What began as an unexpected visit transformed into a coexistence full of tenderness, where these birds now consider the man part of their own family. That earned trust between species paves the way for transformations that seem impossible, even for those who have lost all hope in the shadows of the city. On the streets, this cat waited patiently for an opportunity in front of a glass door. His gaze reflected the exhaustion of a difficult life. No one seemed to notice his presence until a friendly hand decided to change his fate. The rescue team wrapped him in a blanket and took him immediately for medical attention. During his treatment, the cat showed incredible patience while the specialists healed his skin. As the days passed, the sadness in his eyes disappeared. Now, he enjoys the warmth of a real home, receiving cuddles, nail trims, and hugs he never imagined having. His transformation is amazing. That cat, who once went unnoticed, is now a beloved companion who sleeps peacefully, knowing that he is finally safe. But if we talk about second chances, there are moments where life must be rescued from the clutches of tragedy in the middle of nowhere. While driving along a highway, this family stumbled upon a heartbreaking scene. A mother kangaroo lay lifeless on the asphalt. A subtle movement in her pouch caught their attention. As they approached, they discovered a tiny joey struggling to survive inside its mother. They proceeded to extract the baby, which was still in an early stage of development, hairless and vulnerable to the environment. From that moment, the little one began a path toward recovery. He was wrapped in thermal blankets and fed with special bottles that simulated maternal nutrition. The kangaroo's transformation was astonishing. His eyes opened to the world, his skin was covered in soft fur, and his legs gained the strength to take his first hops. What began as an emergency rescue on a desolate road became a story of adoption and unconditional love. Today, he has not only regained his health but has integrated into the family, playing with the children and enjoying a second chance at life that seemed impossible. That spark of life clinging to existence prepares us for the most majestic encounter of all, the story of the cub destined to reign, who found his throne in the warmth of a human home. This little lion began his life in the solitude of a cold and neglected corner. Being separated from his mother, his health was fragile and his gaze reflected a profound weakness. However, the cub's fate changed when a couple decided to intervene to save him. These humans became his new protectors. The lion was bottle-fed and received the warmth he so desperately needed. As the days went by, he began to show his true personality, playing in the living room and living in total harmony with the family dogs who accepted him as one of the pack. What began as a rescue full of uncertainty transformed into an unbreakable bond. The lion grew up surrounded by care, going from a helpless cub to a curious and mischievous youngster who filled the house with life. Finally, time and care worked their magic, turning that small rescue into a majestic and powerful lion, a true king who regained his strength thanks to human compassion.